Hi, everybody. Professor Gustin here, and we are on week number 3. And I don't know about you, but it seems like it goes pretty fast to me. Week 3 is hump week. Once we get over week 3, we will be more than halfway through the course. So this is also a really important week because it's our first lab practical in lab. So just some background information. You guys have done a really good job of letting me know when you're having trouble. Continue to email me. You do not have to ever apologize when you email me. I check my email a lot. It's important to me that you're not frustrated during this course, that you're able to um, get to the materials you want, know if it's a problem, that's a problem that's on my side or a problem on your side. But if you're having any issues, definitely let me know and I try to get back to you quickly. The other thing I'm thinking of is just your grades in general. So after week 1, after the week 1 due date, you probably noticed that I summarized your week 1 grades and I put them in the Bright Space grade sheet for lecture. Remember, you get just 1 grade for lecture and lab combined when you're done this course. So I'm adding the lab grades to the lecture grade sheet so you can see how you're doing. You can see your total grade. So after week 2, after the week 2 due date, I'll do it again. I'll put in the week 2 lab materials. So you'll see that ongoing throughout the semester. If you see any errors on the grade sheet, whether it's on the lab sheet or on the lecture sheet, you need to let your instructors know immediately. I do not, I don't make changes that you could have resolved weeks ago. So if you see a problem, you should be looking at this grade sheet every week. And if you see a problem that even if I said, oh, I'll change that grade for you, and I didn't, let me know. Okay. Sometimes weird things happen. Like I changed the grade and then somehow it's not changed. And I don't, just the communication between Connect and Brightspace I can get outsmarted once in a while. So you check your grades. Okay. Let Professor Pendel or I know if a grade isn't correct in Brightspace. Let's see. So let's look at what's going on this week. It's a big week, like I said. So here's our introduction video that you're going to get right here. And the next thing you see is going to be Lab Practical 1. Actually, before I finalize this page, I'm going to put a video right after this that's going to be just a little review for the Lab Practical. I'm not going to actually review the content. I'm just going to give you some pointers on how to take the lab practical. And you can watch that video. It's 15 minutes long. You can watch it and get some pointers on how to study for the practical, or you don't have to. It's up to you. But if you're tempted to email me and say, how do I study for the lab practical? Watch that video. It will help. The first year that I put that on there, I added a little video like that. To how to study for the lab practical, the grades really improved. So, and the lab practical will take you some serious studying. So here you go. Here's the lab practical. I recommend that you take the lab practical first because it's on labs 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're still going to do lab 5 this week. So I don't want you to get that in your mind and then have to go back and do this. I recommend you take Lab Practical 1 before you do anything else in lab this week. And it gives you some pointers there. It's on labs 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to use the lockdown browser, so you're going to use Respondus just like you've been using in lecture. Remember to go to your lab book. So there's your lab book. So this week we're doing lab number 5. So go to your lab book and get lab number 5 out. And once you're done your lab practical, there's one of those adaptive learning lab assignments, just asking you about culturing microorganisms. And there are no virtual labs this week, but there is a lab quiz. So fill out your lab handout and do this. I actually made the lab a little bit shorter this week because we have the lab practical. Just part of the reason why we don't have virtual labs. So I'm double checking on my handout. Yep, we really don't have any virtual labs. Okay. So that's week one, week three, part one. And so here we are on week three, part two. And that's where we're going to be doing lab 6. And so again, get your lab handouts, go to your lab book, get lab number 6. And there are a bunch of virtual labs. You can see them listed there. I've had a couple people that said, oh, I skipped a virtual lab. I didn't realize I didn't do it. Notice on your page, you have boxes, empty boxes here. Okay, when you're done that virtual lab, just check off that box. That's only for your own, that's for your own bookkeeping, for keeping track of yourself. So when you finish it, click it on there. But there's a bunch of those, but there is no, for week 3, part 2, which is lab 6, there is no actual lab quiz. So some weeks there's virtual labs, some weeks there's not. Some weeks there's lab quizzes, some weeks they're not. If you're ever unsure, just check this page and check your syllabus. They should be the same, okay? So meanwhile, I want you guys to have a great week number 3, and I hope you're starting to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, like feeling like you're going to make it through this by the end, because if you keep at it, you will. Good luck, and please reach out if you have any questions. Take care. Bye-bye.